So we're talking about 9 millionaire success habits that hopefully will inspire you. So if you're curious if any of your habits line up, or if you're curious what habits you need to develop to start building wealth a little bit faster than you are, stay tuned. Thank you for joining us. And if you're new here, new to our channel, what we do is we talk about practical tips and strategies to put more money in your pocket. And then we also talk about some of the biblical principles on how to manage it wisely. So if that sounds good, hit the subscribe button so you can hear from us as we create more stuff. Now, let's get to these 9 millionaire success habits.
Number 1, the first habit is read for personal development.
Yeah. So are you doing this? Are you reading nonfiction that is making you smarter and sharper and better with your money? There's been research that's been done that shows that 85% of self-made millionaires read at least 2 books a month.
That is amazing.
So it's a good habit to be in, to be reading stuff to further your development, particularly in your job, in your career, in your business, any of those things that can help you grow in that direction.
Number 2 is to establish multiple sources of income.
I think a lot of us now, after the whole coronavirus thing, realize how unstable our incomes may have been.
Yeah.
And this is a great, great thing to do. And particularly, I would add to this, looking for sources of passive income. Like we've done a couple videos talking about passive income, and we have some ideas. So we'll link some of those up in the description for you. And the author of this article actually defined it as this. They are passive income addicts. So millionaires are passive income addicts. So do what you can to start thinking along these lines of how you can start building up some passive income streams and just any other sources of income other than your one current source you may have right now.
So number 3 is live on a monthly budget, which I think this is probably going to surprise people.
Yeah, no, I think this is really important. It makes sense to me, and I think people define budget differently.
We describe a budget as telling your money where to go instead of it telling you where it went.
Yeah, exactly. I thought this was really interesting seeing this because it makes a lot of sense. If you look at businesses, successful businesses, big businesses, you're going to have a hard time finding some that do not have a budget in place.
Right.
Like businesses put budgets in place because it helps them make more money. So it makes sense that as human beings, just individuals, like we should have a budget in place to maximize what we have going on. So it makes perfect sense.
It's
to me.
efficient.
Yeah, it's absolutely the key to just being as efficient as possible with your money.
All right, so number 4 is manage and maximize your money.
Yeah, so I think this ties into the previous one a little bit, but the author is talking a little bit about the tax benefits and really maximizing your tax strategy and just reducing the amount of tax you're paying legally, of course, but just doing things in a way that you don't have to pay more taxes than you should.
All right, number 5 is to avoid debt.
I think it was Robert Kiyosaki who said that the difference between the rich and the poor and middle class is that the rich buy luxuries last, whereas the middle class and the poor buy them first and often on credit.
Yeah.
If I think back to my early years, like that's what I was doing all the time. I was buying things I couldn't actually afford on a credit card and then carrying a balance with them. And, thankfully we've made some progress over the years, gotten a little bit smarter with our money, doing less and less of that. But that's a key, is minimizing debt usage. And if you are actually going to use debt, it needs to be used in a way that's actually going to make you money, not just because you want to get something sooner and you don't want to wait for it. All right, if you're enjoying this at all, hit the like button to let us know, and we will continue.
Number 6, set daily goals.
Yeah, I feel like I've been a little bit slack on my goal setting
Me too.
lately, but yeah, it is such an important part. I mean, setting a daily goal in order to reach your quarterly goal, your annual goal, or whatever, just like finding out the big thing you want and then working backwards. It's like, if I want to be here in a year, what do I need to do on a daily basis or a weekly basis in order to get there?
Right.
And establishing a habit like that, I've had some really crazy things happen based on goals that I set and then created systems in place to reach them.
Yeah,
so
and I think
I'm
the
a
other
big
thing,
proponent of this.
the other thing it's going to do is like kick out all the things that you don't want to do,
Yeah,
right? Because you're not
yeah.
going to have time for them anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
Number 7, don't act rich.
Yeah, this is so funny to me because so many people who don't have a lot of money actually pretend like they can. And because debt is so readily available, you can create the illusion of having some wealth even when you don't. And on the other hand, a lot of really wealthy people, you would never know it by the way they handle things. So there's a proverb that says, one person pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth.
This kind of reminds me of when we were living in our house in St. Louis and you were driving around a 14 or 15-year-old car that you had paid $1,000 for, and then you sold for $1,000 a little while later. And you were driving this really beat up car, but we were living in a paid off house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
then
yeah.
you kept thinking, you were like, I wonder what people think. Like, because
And I clearly didn't really care, but
no, you didn't care, but you were like, I wonder, based on me driving this car, what people actually think our financial situation is.
Yeah.
Because it really looks like one thing.
Yeah.
But the reality of it was that we were actually doing really well at that point.
Yeah. All right. So there's a great book out there called The Millionaire Next Door that kind of addresses this.
So yeah, we're going to read this part for you real quick. While most believe that people with huge fortunes tend to drive exotic cars, in reality, the largest consumers of pricey cars are aspiring millionaires.
Not real millionaires, the ones who want to be.
And then it says that 61% of individuals who earn $250,000 or more rarely buy luxury brands. Instead, they buy Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords like the rest of the world.
Yeah, that is insightful. I love that.
Okay, so number 8 is own or buy businesses.
I remember a mentor of mine told me this. Basically said the fastest path to building wealth is owning your own business. And as an employee, it's not that you can't build wealth, it just takes longer. It's a longer journey. And the author here mentions Robert Kiyosaki and his Cashflow Quadrant, which is actually kind of a cool model where he breaks it into 4 quadrants. So you have employee, which is E, S for self-employed, which is working for yourself. B is business owner, where you have many employees under you building a business, and then I is for investor. Kiyosaki says you want to focus on being in the business owner or investor category, because the employee and the self-employed, where you're just working for yourself, like those categories are a lot more difficult to build wealth in. Whereas if you get on the other side, it's a lot quicker to be able to build and grow wealth.
All right, so number 9, this is the last one. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes.
It takes time, my friend. So in Proverbs 28:22, it says in New Living Translation, greedy people try to get rich quick, but don't realize they're headed for poverty. And so there are always things out there that look like shortcuts. And honestly, this is how a lot of scams thrive and succeed, is they prey on that desire for us all to get rich quick.
Yeah.
And so being wise about that is one of the best things that we can do.
So sending the Nigerian prince $1,000, we're not going to make 10 million back instantly.
I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody yet. Let us know in the comments if that's worked for you, but I haven't heard that working out so far.
Okay, so we would love to hear in the comments if you want to add anything to this list, if you agree or disagree with anything on this list.
Let us know.
We want to hear from you.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't already become a part of the Seedtime family, hit that subscribe button and then the little bell so you can hear from us every time we create something new. And if you want exclusive money tips that we only give to our subscribers, be sure to go over to seedtime.com to get on our personal email list. So that is all we have for today, but to continue hanging with us, just check out this next video.